Yes, hello everyone. I think we'll be going with the next topic of same chapter, that is microprocessor and organization of 8085. I think this is from paper 2. So let's start. I think we will be going with the diagram. I think you can see this is a block diagram of microcomputer. It's not of microprocessor, block diagram of microcomputer. Okay, in this, how the actual microcomputer is there, I think we'll be going through that. Uh, in this, I think everyone knows that there are three important things: input, process, and output. So every time we are doing this, so let's see where is the, whenever we talk about computers, so we have these three things: input, output, and process. um, so where are these three things in this input, output, and process? So can you see this is your input keyboard. When we talk about process, so process will be done by MPU or a microprocessor unit. Then we also have output. For that, I'll just scroll up. Now can you see here we are having, here we are not having some output device, but here we are having the segment display. In previous, what do you call it? Nowadays we have monitors and all, but in the previous years we used to have display or LED displays. Now you can see that apart from this we have RAM, ROM. So we are going to study all this. Then we have data bus, address bus, many things are there. Then we have power supply. Then interfaces are also there. You can say that this too will not be, you can say keyboard interface, you can say display interface, control, and there will be buses also. Like you might be knowing that buses are nothing but the wires through which the data or any type of signals will be transferred from one place to another. So this is nothing but a block diagram of microcomputer. Now today we will be studying only about this, and let's see how it goes, in the sense which are the different parts of this microcomputers or what are the other things. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. When we go to the next slide, can you see microcomputer mainly consists of the following blocks. So I was talking about which are the different blocks in here. So you can say input device, this is your keyboard, microprocessor unit, that is your MPU, then program memory, data memory, and output device. So I hope you understand output device is not a monitor here, that is a 7 segment display, because in the olden days we were not having monitors, we were having this device. Okay, now this also comes in your board exams, microcomputer block diagram and it is explanation. Okay, now we will be going one by one all the devices. Can you see input device? So we have to go through all the things. Now microcomputer mainly consists of the following blocks: input device or the keyboard. So everyone knows that it is the input device. The instructions as well as the data prepared for particular program are entered through the input device like your keyboard. So everyone knows that it's an input device. Whatever you want to enter, whether it is data, whether it is code, whatever the things you want to enter, you can enter through it. Okay, then we have keyboard display interface or keyboard interface is there. Keyboard will not be working directly, so for that you require some interface. So when the instructions and data is entered through keyboard, it is not possible to feed the instruction directly to MPU, because MPU might be busy in performing various instructions or other tasks. So it is stored in a special chip called as keyboard interface. Okay, or you can say it is like a buffer. Okay, buffer is temporary storage. So there you can store your there you can store your input, because microprocessor will be doing some other tasks. The speed of input device and the MPU will not be equal also. For that reason also might be that you can store that information in that interface, then microprocessor can execute whenever it wants. Okay, I think this is your third block, microprocessor unit. This is your heart, or you can say it's a brain of your computer. Okay, microprocessor process system data and requires control signals are generated to control the system. All processing and data flow is done in the system with the microprocessor chip. So you can say that whatever the processing is done, or you can say required data from where to take, then input, process, everything, where to show this output devices also. So everything is done by mostly by this. Okay, then we have ROM. I think everyone knows that it is a permanent memory, or we cannot change it. It contains the permanently stored program known as monitor programs. I think you can say the booting up concepts, like when we on the button on the CPU, it checks all the devices and all. So that concept is already feeded in this, and it will be working as the programmer has instructed, but you cannot change it. Okay, it has address bus, chip select, read, signal lines. It only allows to read the stored information, as it will not allow you to process, change. It will just allow you to store the information. Okay, now let's go with the next. I think the next block is random access memory, or RAM. It is, as you know, it is a temporary memory, and it is used for reading, writing, everything. It is used to store data. It is temporary storage device, reading and writing of data into memory. So it requires the bidirectional data bus. Okay, so the data bus which is required, or the bus, I hope you understand, which will be carrying your information, will be bidirectional. Bidirectional means from microprocessor to other devices, and from other devices to microprocessor. Then we have output devices, that is only 7 segment display. Okay, we don't have monitor here. We have, as I showed you, like 7 segment displays are there, or you can say digital displays. A special display interface circuit, or IC, that is integrated circuit, is used to store the data and derive the display. So I hope you understood all the sections or the blocks. Apart from this, there are many other things which we'll be covering. That is, 7th is display interface. Okay, a special display interface circuit, or IC is used. I think same thing is written. Okay, now we will see the address decoder. Okay, it decodes the address and selects the proper chip. When you go through that diagram, I think this will also be there, because you should able to decode, or you should able to understand where it is telling you to store the data and all. Clock is very important. The whole circuitry is synchronized with clock. The speed of the system depends upon the clock frequency. So I think, as I was telling you from many time, that clock is used for synchronization, or you can say for multi-programming and all. So it just synchronizes the whole system. When you require the data, that time it should be available and all. Now, power supply. Yes, without power supply, it will not, the circuit will not work. So the power supply is necessary to operate the circuit. Important lines in the diagram. Apart from this blocks, we also have some lines or buses. Okay, like interrupt line. Interrupt is very important, used to interrupt your microprocessor. Like you will be doing some other work, and someone will come and disturbs you. That becomes an interrupt. Okay, how it handles, which are the different types of interrupts, that we'll see later. Address bus, 16-bit address bus. Now remember that very important is 16-bit address bus. Okay, it is unidirectional. That is, the data will be coming. It is only in one direction. That is from microprocessor unit to some other devices, used to flow bits of required memory to devices. Okay, from memory to other devices and all, or from micro CPU to some other devices. Okay, then we have some other important lines, that is data bus. I think buses, as I was telling you, they are nothing but the wires. So here you can say that here there are 16 wires, and here we have only 8 bidirectional. That is very important. Data bus is always bidirectional. That means uh, it can be transferred from to and fro, but in both the directions. Okay, used to transfer data among the MPUs, that is microprocessor unit, and other devices. Then we have control bus. Okay, which controls, because there should be someone who some wires to control other things or other activities. So it carries the control signal generated by the microprocessor. Then we have power lines. Power line is very important because without giving the power supply, it's not going to work. So it is necessary to operate the circuit. So I hope you understood what was the topic, microcomputer. Okay, block diagram of microcomputer. Okay, it's not about, or it's not about 8085, mostly uh, any microcomputers block diagram. Okay, I hope you understood, and think we will meet in the next session. Thank you.